Hi, everyone. I just want to walk you through here some of the steps to get things installed so we can be ready for class next Monday. And before I really show you that, I just want to walk you through the website. So the website here has instructions and you have a link for this website. And in case you click somewhere else and you go to a different page, so the homepage of this website is in my blog. I have some posts below here related to statistical programming and applied to agronomy, and also some thoughts about those topics. And if you click on teaching here, it's going to bring you to this page. And you would like to click here on the first link that you see under teaching. It's going to take you to the blog part that's related to the class. You can please go through and read here the overview page, which is going to give you some idea of what we'll be exposing you guys to, what topics we're going to be covering, and also some of the topics and the dates that we're going to be covering them. After you're done going through the overview, please come here to the preparation tab on the left. And here is where really there are some instructions for you to follow to get things installed before class. And there are 4 steps that I want to ask you to go through. So first is installing R. R is the main engine that we're going to be using to run all the spatial analysis and precision ag related analysis of my part. However, R in itself is not very it doesn't have a nice interface to integrate code and plots and maps and tables and all that. And so that's where RStudio comes into play. So RStudio is just an add-on software on top of R that helps us to integrate those different parts of an analysis. And then after you download and install R in RStudio, I want to ask you to also download the class material from my GitHub page. And then from this material here, there's going to be a script with packages in R that I want you to install. And just if you're not familiar with it, an R package is just like a phone app. So basically extends the applications that you have available in native R and just adds on some extra functionality to it. All right, so let's just, I just want to walk you through here the steps that you would do to get everything ready and installed. So first thing is install R. You can just click on this link here. I'm going to open on a separate tab. And you're going to go to the R website. So here you're going to choose one of these options here to download R for your specific operating system. I would believe most of you may be using either a Mac or a Windows. I use a Mac, so I would click here, and then it takes me to this page. I'm going to download here the latest version that has been released, which is the 4.1.2. So I just click here, download this, and install. I'm not going to do that to the end here just because I have already installed on my computer. And if you also have already installed in your computer, you don't have to reinstall it again. But once you download and install it, then the next step would be to do the same for RStudio. So with RStudio, we're going to click on this link here. I'm going to open on a new tab. And so here it has already understood that I have a Mac. So it's given me that option here, download RStudio for Mac. I just click on this, download and install. If for some reason for you is showing the wrong operating system option up here, you can always come down here and find it. So for Windows 10, this would be the file you want to download and install. And there are other options here as well in case you use different systems. And don't worry about it because R in RStudio are free, at least the versions that we're using and that we're going to be installing. So you don't have, there's no paid software here. You should not have to pay for anything that we're doing. Okay, so once you have RStudio installed, I want you to go to my GitHub page. So GitHub is just, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a website that people use to collaborate on, mostly on programming projects. So we're going to be doing programming in R. And so this is where I am distributing my files through. So to have access to the class files that we're going to be using, you can come here on this GitHub repository link that links to my personal repository for this class. If you scroll down, so this may look like you're not really understanding what's going on, and that's totally normal if you're not familiar with it. There are some instructions below here, but you can also just follow what I'm going to say. So here are going to be the files. We're not going to be using these files straight from your web browser. So this is just like you can kind of think of it as a cloud service that is hosting the files that I'm sharing with you, but we're not going to be like browsing them and going through like them in the cloud on GitHub. So what I want you to do is to download all these files to your computer. And to do that, you just come on this green code button here, open that Dropbox and download the zip. So now this is going to download a zip file to your computer. Now I'm just going to minimize here this window so I can see my desktop. So this is what was downloaded for me. So if I just open here, right now you're only going to be able to see these two folders. I will, as the course progresses, I will be adding more material here that you're going to download. And so, there's going to be more files as time goes on, but right now there are only two folders in a file here. I want you to open this 01 packages folder, and you're going to see this before_install packages.r file. So this is an R script file, meaning that it has R code. If you have already installed successfully R in RStudio, and you just double click on this R file here, it should launch one RStudio window on your computer like this. And this, what we're seeing up here, is that file. So what I want you to do, so we're going to be installing these packages. So each line here is a different package that we're installing that we're going to be using at some point during the course. So what I want you to do is to place your cursor in this anywhere in this first line here, and then come on this run button and click on that. So, well, it's just giving me some message here that you're probably not going to receive. So I'm going to say no. But it's just telling me, because I have already installed these packages, so it's just telling me that I'm installing a package that I'm already using. And if I want to do that, you're not going to see that message. So we're just going to see this part here, which basically, so when we place our cursor here and hit run, what that does, so this is just the script. This is where we write the code, but this is not where the code is interpreted by R. So when we click run, we're basically sending this line of code to the console. So this is the console. This is where the commands and the code that we write is actually interpreted by the language. So when we do click run, it sends this first line of code to the console that we can see right there. And then it's giving us some message here saying that it was installing, downloading from the internet and installing. And then if you successfully install, or if the package was successfully installed, you're going to see a message like this, similar to this. The downloaded binary packages are in a given folder. So we just did that for this first package called readr, and we're going to do that. Just keep going down this list and installing one by one. So I'm going to go to the janitor package and hit run. You see that it sends that to my console. It's gonna R-interpreted it, is downloading the package now and installed. And so, and also if you see this greater than symbol on your console, it means that it's in idle. So it's not working, meaning that whatever it was doing before has already finished and is just waiting for the next command. So that's a good sign because it says it was downloaded and now it's in idle. So it's waiting for the next command, meaning that it is ready and that it has finished what it was doing before. So just keep doing that, just like go row by row here, click run and install each one of the packages. And if you see this message here at the end of each one of those packages, it means you're good to go. It is possible you get an error. I actually, I'm not quite sure what packages could give you errors. just because I have installed them a long time ago and I don't remember anymore what were the ones that could potentially give errors. So it is possible that in your case, you get errors at any one of these packages. And if that happens, let me know. I will be super happy to help you to figure that out. But we'll need each one of these packages at some point during the next couple of weeks. So after you go through installing each one of these individually, one by one, waiting to see if you get the similar message to this, and you just want to make sure that it was properly installed, you can come down here on row 17 of this script, and you're going to see all of these library functions. So these are functions, right? So the library function basically loads the package on your computer. So it's kind of like the install.packages function downloads the package to your computer, but then every time you want to use it, you need to load it. So the library function loads that package for you. So if you come on the first one here, so library readr, and hit run as well, it's either not gonna tell you anything afterwards, like no messages, or it may give you a message just like saying like something special about the package. But if that message does not contain the word error, then it means your package was successfully installed and you're good to go. So I'm just gonna go one by one here just so you can see for me. So you see how the package janitor actually gave me some messages here, but it's just letting me know something that it did. It's not an error. You don't see the wording error here. And also, our choice of color for messages is kind of counterintuitive because it uses red, even if just for a message that is not an error. So if you're seeing red text, it does not mean you have an error. It just means that our people that design the color of their messages in our, selected a color that is not very intuitive just for a message that is not an error. So I'm just going to keep going here. So ggplot, no messages, dplyr, no messages, tidyr, liberdate, ggthemes. Plotly gave some messages here, but no error. So if you read here, the word error is not part of it. It's just telling me some messages from that package. Let's try gganimate. Also some messages, but no errors. SF and raster. So here, the packages SF and raster could potentially give you some errors just because I know that they require they could require some extra software to be installed in your computer because those are the spatial packages that we're going to be using, and sometimes they require some spatial libraries to be installed. Perhaps those libraries were already installed when you installed other things like ArcGIS and QGIS, and you should be fine. But anyhow, so the goal here is that first I'm just going to minimize here the console. First, you install each one of these packages one by one, making sure you don't get any errors. If you do get errors, let me know, I'll help you out. And next is just here checking to make sure that you can load those packages on your computer and make sure that they were properly installed. And once you finish all these steps, you are ready for the class and you should be good to go. If you have any issues, please let me know. I'll be super glad to help you out. And if you don't have any issues, I'll see you Monday. Thanks.